In the beginning there was no blaze, no thunder, no pulse of life. Only a sea of silence stretching beyond comprehension. A darkness so complete that even the concept of before had not yet been invented. The universe was not asleep. It simply had not learned how to dream. Then, from that absence, something impossible happened. Energy appeared, not in a flash of color or sound, but as a trembling whisper in the void. That single tremor was the seed of everything. Space, time, matter, memory. Imagine a silence so pure that the first vibration would echo forever. That was the moment when power was born. The instant when nothing decided to become something. Every galaxy, every atom, every heartbeat is a distant reverberation of that choice. And if you find yourself drawn to that first vibration, to the quiet power behind everything you see, hit subscribe and keep this journey going. Every week we travel a little further into the unknown. Human minds love to measure power by scale. Lightning, nuclear fire, black holes, gods. But cosmic power is subtler than destruction. It is the steady insistence of existence itself. The cosmos does not shout its strength. It hums it quietly through equations, gravity and light. Physicists tell us that, before anything else, the universe existed as pure energy compressed into an infinitesimal point, a density so extreme that the laws of physics could not survive inside it. Then came expansion. Energy cooled, condensed, and organized itself into rules. From chaos emerged structure, and from structure the first sparks of order. The stage was set for every drama to follow. Out of this newborn fabric rose the fundamental players. Gravity, electromagnetism, strong and weak nuclear forces. They were not enemies, but partners in a cosmic ballet, weaving balance from violence. Each would carve its own signature into reality, shaping stars, bending time, birthing worlds. Billions of years later, a small species on a blue planet would look up and try to name what it was feeling. Awe. They would sense that behind every storm, every orbit, every breath lies a hierarchy of strength, an invisible staircase that climbs from the smallest flicker of energy to the mightiest forces known. And so, our journey begins. We will ascend, level by level, through the ladder of cosmic power, from the delicate heartbeat of atoms to the roaring engines that sculpt galaxies. Before us stretches 7 steps into eternity, each revealing how the universe builds, breaks, and rebuilds itself. In the beginning, there was silence. Soon you will hear what silence became. What if I told you there was a moment when power itself did not exist? No light, no force, not even time to measure its absence. The universe wasn't sleeping. It simply hadn't learned the verb to be. Then something, tiny, trembling, impossible, broke the stillness. A quantum fluctuation smaller than a thought. A mathematical accident that refused to cancel out. In that instant, energy appeared, pure and uninvited, and the void discovered motion. That first breath became the grammar of everything. Space, time, matter, memory. Imagine a silence so total that the first vibration would never stop echoing. Every photon, every heartbeat, every flash of light since then is just an aftershock of that initial whisper. Humanity would later name this the Big Bang, but the title hardly fits. It wasn't a bang. There was no air to carry sound, no ears to hear it. It was the moment when nothing decided to become something. We tend to measure power in explosions and catastrophes, yet the greatest force is not destruction. True cosmic power is persistence, the relentless insistence of existence itself. The cosmos does not shout. It hums endlessly through light and gravity and time. Before matter, before stars, before even color, the universe was a soup of energy compressed into something smaller than a grain of sand. Temperatures soared beyond imagination. The laws of physics broke like glass. But in that chaos hid a pattern. As the universe expanded, it cooled, and the 4 fundamental forces crystallized out like frost on an infinite window. Gravity, electromagnetism, the strong force, and the weak. Each was a new language of power. Gravity pulled, electromagnetism danced, the strong force glued, the weak force whispered change. Together they wove the first fabric of structure, a map on which every galaxy, star, and atom would later walk. Billions of years later, Tiny conscious minds would look up at the night sky and feel that echo as awe. They'd sense, without knowing, that behind every storm, orbit, and breath lies a hierarchy of strength, an invisible staircase of cosmic power. The atoms in your blood were once fused in stars that died magnificently. The light in your eyes is older than Earth itself. You are made of the same laws that forged the heavens. So when we ask, what is the most powerful thing in the universe? We are really asking what part of ourselves we still don't understand. From the faint spark of a single atom to the cosmic detonations that reshape galaxies, power rises in levels, each stage a new chapter in the universe's autobiography. These are not mythical ranks. They're real thresholds of energy and scale, where reality itself changes its rules. In the chapters ahead, we'll climb that ladder together. Level 1, the microscopic alchemy inside atoms. Level 2, the fiery hearts of stars. Level 3, the invisible hand of gravity. Level 4, the supernova's symphony. Level 5, the singularity's grip. Level 6, the first moment of everything, the Big Bang. Level 7, the final mystery still unfolding, dark energy. The force that pulls apart the very fabric of space. Each level is a story of creation, destruction, and renewal. Each teaches us that power isn't a weapon. It's a conversation between energy and order. So take a breath. Let the silence of the universe fill you. Because in the next moment, we'll ignite the first flame of existence and step onto the lowest rung of cosmic power, the atomic heart of creation itself. If you could shrink yourself smaller than a dust mote, then smaller still until an atom filled your entire sky, you'd see chaos disguised as perfection. At its heart, the nucleus blazes, protons locked together by a force so strong that if it were to loosen by even 1%, the universe would fall apart. This is nuclear binding energy, the quiet strength that glues creation itself. Every spark that lights a candle or detonates a star begins here. When two light nuclei merge, they release energy not by magic but by mathematics. E=mc2, Einstein's calm equation that hides thunder inside symbols. The mass that vanishes reappears as light. The loss becomes illumination. It's almost poetic. The universe burns by giving up pieces of itself. Inside this atomic furnace lies the seed of every higher power. Without the first level, the power of atoms, no star would shine, no planet would coalesce, and no living cell could wake. The smallest building blocks carry the oldest secret. Energy loves to escape its prison. Now magnify that atomic heartbeat 1,000,000,000-fold, and you have a star. A sphere of plasma so dense that matter forgets what it means to be solid, burning for millions or billions of years. Stars are nature's reactors, the cosmic kitchens that cook hydrogen into helium, then into carbon, oxygen, iron, the ingredients of breath and bone. Consider this. Our sun converts 4 million tons of matter into pure energy every second. Yet it has done so calmly for 4.6 billion years, and will continue for billions more. That is not chaos. That is discipline on a cosmic scale. But not all stars are equal. Some live fast, die young, and explode gloriously. Blue giants roar through their lives in a few million years, while red dwarfs whisper across trillions. Each star's mass is its fate. Gravity decides the tempo, and fusion provides the melody. The power of stars is creative, but it's also moral in a strange way. They spend their lives giving away everything they have, and when they die, they scatter the very atoms that will one day look back and wonder where they came from. Now step back. The atomic and stellar realms are engines, but something must organize the traffic. Enter gravity, the invisible sculptor. It does not shine or crackle, it simply bends. Space itself becomes flexible in its presence. What we call orbit is really just matter following the curve of reality. Gravity is paradoxical, the weakest of all fundamental forces, yet the most dominant across distance. A small magnet can lift a paperclip against the pull of an entire planet, and still, gravity rules galaxies. Its secret weapon is patience. Over billions of years, it gathers clouds of gas into stars, stars into clusters, clusters into spiraling galaxies. It shapes time, slows light, and in the hearts of dying suns, it wins completely, creating black holes where even information cannot escape. Without gravity, there would be no architecture, only chaos. Every sunrise you see is a gravitational success story, a delicate compromise between falling and missing forever. The moon's pull breathes tides into our oceans, and our planet's orbit keeps seasons in rhythm. Yet gravity is more than attraction. It's the universe's conversation about unity. It teaches that everything leans toward everything else. You, sitting under the same laws as galaxies, are participating in that pull right now. From the power trapped inside atoms to the fire of stars and the silent command of gravity, we've reached the edge of the understandable. Beyond this point, power stops being creative and begins to flirt with destruction. In the next descent, we'll witness explosions that tear suns apart, and singularities that warp the meaning of existence itself. The universe is about to reveal what happens when power breaks its own rules. There are moments when a star decides it has nothing left to give, and in that surrender, it becomes the most powerful thing in the sky. When a massive star reaches the end of its fuel, its heart turns traitor. Fusion, the same gentle process that once balanced gravity, suddenly halts. For a fraction of a second, the universe holds its breath. Then gravity wins and collapses everything inward at a speed that defies reason. The result is a shockwave that travels faster than thought, ripping through layers of gas, detonating elements that were once calm. A supernova isn't a single explosion. It's billions of nuclear detonations chained together, spreading across a sphere the size of a solar system. In a few heartbeats, one dying star can outshine an entire galaxy of billions. But this destruction is also creation. Within the raging fireball, atoms are forged that never existed before. Gold, silver, iodine, calcium. The iron in your blood, the gold in your ring, the calcium in your bones. All gifts from stars that died screaming. A supernova's violence is the reason life can sparkle. Astronomers have watched these cosmic funerals unfold. SN 1987A in the Large Magellanic Cloud, Cassiopeia A's ghostly remnant glowing in X-rays, and supernovae so distant their light began traveling before Earth had oceans. Each is both an obituary and a birth announcement. In its peak, a supernova can release as much energy in a few seconds as our sun will emit in 10 billion years. If that sounds excessive, remember, the universe is generous when it ends things. Power here is not cruelty, it's transformation. The light from a single supernova can seed new stars, new planets, and perhaps one day, new eyes to watch it happen. But what happens when even an explosion is not enough? When gravity refuses to let go? That's when power turns inward, collapsing, compressing, and vanishing. A black hole is not an object in the ordinary sense. It is a region of surrender. Matter collapses beyond its own identity, and space-time folds like fabric pushed through a pinhole. At its center lies a singularity, a word humans invented when mathematics gave up. These monsters come in many sizes. Stellar black holes form from the deaths of massive stars, a few times the sun's mass. Supermassive black holes sit at the hearts of galaxies, weighing billions of suns. And between them may exist a missing race, the intermediate black holes, too shy or brief to reveal themselves. The event horizon marks the boundary where escape becomes impossible. Even light, the universe's fastest messenger, cannot cross back once it ventures too near. To an outside observer, anything falling in seems to freeze, stretched infinitely across that invisible surface, a ghost written on space-time. Yet black holes are not pure darkness. They radiate faint whispers, Hawking radiation, slowly evaporating over trillions of years. They also merge, creating ripples that travel through space-time itself. Gravitational waves, detected by observatories like LIGO and Virgo. When two black holes collide, they release energy equivalent to several suns converted entirely into gravitational motion in less than a second. No explosion, no light, just the universe ringing like a bell. Their influence extends far beyond their invisible throats. Supermassive black holes regulate the growth of galaxies, stirring gas, igniting quasars that shine brighter than entire star systems. They are both destroyers and gardeners, keeping cosmic ecosystems alive through balance and restraint. If supernovae are the fireworks of the universe, black holes are its punctuation marks. the commas and periods that give the story rhythm. They remind us that endings are not voids but gateways to understanding. Where matter ends, information begins. Where gravity breaks, new laws wait to be discovered. At this point on our climb, we've crossed from the creative side of the cosmos into the domains where physics starts to whisper. I don't know. Power here doesn't build, it bends reality. And beyond these two levels lie forces even more ancient and vast. The birth of everything, and the quiet energy that may one day end it all. In the next section, we'll step beyond time itself to witness the greatest genesis and the strangest mystery. The Big Bang and the invisible power now tearing the universe apart. Everything you have ever touched was once the same thing. Every atom in every star, every breath you've ever taken, was compressed into a point smaller than a grain of sand. And then it exploded with no sound but infinite intention. 13.8 billion years ago, there was no space to expand into, no time to measure it. Then, without cause we can name, the universe ignited. Energy didn't burst into the void. The void itself burst into being. That event is still happening. The cosmic background radiation, a faint microwave afterglow we can detect in every direction, is the first light still whispering to us across time. In its first seconds, temperature and density defied imagination. Matter and antimatter appeared in pairs and annihilated almost completely. Almost. For every billion pairs that erased each other, one lonely particle of matter remained. Those leftovers became everything. The bones of galaxies, the dust that would one day dream. Within minutes, the first nuclei formed, hydrogen and helium. Simple elements that would later feed the furnaces of stars. For hundreds of millions of years, the cosmos cooled in darkness until the first stars flickered on, igniting a second creation. The Big Bang was not a moment of noise. It was a moment of permission. It allowed change to exist. Physicists have built entire careers studying its aftertaste. The expanding galaxies, the patterns of light, the faint ripples in temperature across the sky. From these clues, we learn that the Big Bang was not a firework that fizzled out. It's a slow burn still unfolding. Every second right now, space itself stretches. The cosmos is still carrying that first breath forward. To call this power is an understatement. It was all the power that ever will be, compressed into a single instant. And yet, from that incomprehensible violence emerged delicacy. Laws, constants, ratios fine-tuned enough to allow chemistry, planets, and eventually curiosity itself. The Big Bang was not a chaotic accident. It was precision wearing the mask of chaos. When you look up at the night sky, you're not seeing the universe as it is. You're seeing the universe as it was, still unfolding that first moment of power. If the Big Bang was the beginning of everything, dark energy may be the end. Not as fire, but as silence spreading too fast to outrun. For centuries, we assumed gravity was slowing the cosmic expansion. Then, in 1998, astronomers noticed something impossible. Distant supernovae were dimmer than they should be, as if the universe were not slowing down at all. It was speeding up. Something was pushing space apart. We called that something dark energy. No one knows what it is. It does not emit light, nor interact with matter the way other forces do. Yet it dominates the cosmic budget. Nearly 70% of everything is this invisible repulsion we cannot explain. It's as if the universe grew tired of clumping together and chose to drift apart. Galaxies that once danced in clusters are sliding away faster and faster. In tens of billions of years, their light will stretch beyond detectability. Future observers, if any remain, will see only darkness and think they are alone. The cosmic archive will have deleted itself. There are theories, of course. Some say dark energy is a property of empty space itself, a cosmological constant that Einstein once added and then abandoned. Others imagine a dynamic field, a quintessence that changes over time. But the truth remains beyond our reach. We cannot touch it. We only see its footprints in the accelerating distance between galaxies. What we do know is that it has the final word. If dark energy stays constant, the universe will end in a big freeze, where every star dies and temperature falls toward absolute zero. If it grows stronger, it will rip apart galaxies, atoms, even the fabric of space itself, the Big Rip. Either way, the last chapter is not written in flame but in silence. Yet there's something oddly peaceful about it, for in its quiet expansion, dark energy is still the echo of the Big Bang's first breath. The same energy, now diluted and gentle, continuing the story that began with creation. It's the universe reminding us that every beginning carries its own ending within it. We've reached the final rung of the cosmic ladder, from the microscopic whispers of atoms to the infinite stretch of dark energy. What began as a spark has become a symphony so vast that even time bows to its tempo. The universe was born from fire, but it will end not with a bang, nor a whimper, but with a long, slow exhale into forever. In the final section, we'll return home to ask what all this power means, and why a species of storytellers on a tiny planet keeps searching for its source. What if the universe was never trying to impress us with its power, only to teach us how to listen? When we first asked, what is power? We pictured explosions, light, speed, control. But after climbing through 7 levels of cosmic energy, from the whisper of atoms to the stretching of space-time, we find that the universe defines power very differently. It is not a shout, it is a pattern. Every level we've explored speaks in the same language: transformation. Atoms fuse, stars burn, gravity sculpts, black holes fold, the cosmos expands, and dark energy drifts. Nothing stays still. Everything gives something away. The cost of power is always part of its beauty. The hydrogen that once shone inside a long-dead star is the same hydrogen flowing in your blood. The light you see tonight may have started its journey before Earth was born, and yet it reaches you exactly when your eyes are open. You are part of a choreography so ancient that even galaxies are latecomers. We chase power as if it's something to own, but the universe whispers otherwise. Power is not possession. It's participation. Every breath you take borrows oxygen from the ashes of stars. Every heartbeat is timed by gravity's pull on your body. You are already using cosmic power simply by existing. So what does the hierarchy of power really teach us? That the universe is not a ladder of dominance. It's a circle of balance. Energy never vanishes. It simply changes costume. Fire becomes dust. Dust becomes planet. Planet becomes mind. Mind becomes story. And the story always loops back to energy again. Consider the irony. The weakest of forces, gravity, builds the largest structures. The smallest particle holds the most explosive potential. And the quietest force, dark energy, controls the fate of everything. The cosmos seems to delight in opposites. Its greatest power is balance itself. In that sense, the Big Bang wasn't just the start of physics. It was the beginning of a conversation about equilibrium. Every atom, every orbit, every equation is a reply. The universe is fluent in harmony disguised as conflict, and then there's us, a species of storytellers standing on a pale blue dot, daring to name the powers of the cosmos as if we were witnesses instead of participants. We look at black holes and think of endings. We look at stars and think of hope. We look at ourselves and forget. We are made of both. When you gaze into the night sky, remember, the atoms in your eyes were forged in supernova. The calcium in your bones was cooked in the belly of a dying star. The gravity that keeps you on Earth is the same curvature that binds galaxies. You are not an observer of the 7 levels of power. You are their continuation. So perhaps the last level of cosmic power isn't dark energy after all. Maybe it's awareness, the ability of the universe to look back on itself through you and wonder, how far can I go? True power, then, is not about domination or destruction. It's about persistence. The quiet resilience of light traveling billions of years just to die beautifully inside a pair of human eyes. That's power. The universe began in silence and will end in silence. Everything in between is music. And if you listen closely, you can still hear that first vibration, the heartbeat of creation, echoing through every atom that dares to exist. So tell me, which level of power calls to you most? The fire that creates or the silence that endures? If this journey made you feel smaller, remember, the stars were never trying to humble you. They were trying to remind you that you belong to something infinite. Until next time, keep looking up. The universe is still becoming.